Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Nirmadon, and I'll be doing the official top 5 plays of the week for Battlefield 3 for Infamous Noon's channel. So without further ado, guys, let's begin. Coming in at our first clip, guys, we're going to have Dark Betrayed using the M98B on Operation Metro on the third set of MCOMs. He's also going to be on PC, so his ability to have more tangos to shoot at is actually going to be a little bit more consistent than the console side of it. But also, I'd like to point out that he is also going to be targeting the heads of the opposing team at a very high consistency, along with having the ability to pick up a collateral and a triple throughout the clip. And I actually got to give props to the guy. He's actually suppressing them fairly well, considering that he is using a sniper rifle, and he's shooting through suppression at a very high rate as well. A lot of you guys know that if you're a sniper, that the suppression effect really fucks up the sniper rifles at a very high rate, considering that you're only shooting one bullet at a time. But unfortunately, guys, he's going to be picking up his first death here, but he does go on quite a tear of a 14 kill streak, if I am correct. Coming in at our second clip, we're going to have Humi EX, and he's going to be sniping the driver of the Z11, and I got to give props to him. I haven't done that myself. Coming in at number 3, guys, we're going to have Thrillobite showcasing the M40A5 on Operation Metro on the PC side of it. He's actually going to be flanking the opposing team, and he's also going to be using his ability of other weapons or his arsenal at a little bit more of a consistent scale. I'm actually really impressed because throughout the clip you guys will see him using the M40A5, lining up headshots and shooting the opposing team, and lining up those shots to ensure that he does get that one-shot kill. But at the same expense, he's going to be using the MP412 Rex, the frag grenade, and the crossbow. And I was a little surprised to see that a sniper would be so willing to give up a MAV or a Tugs for a crossbow. I do realize that it has a little bit of stealthier effect, and it really showcases your ability to get behind the opposition and kind of cause a little bit more havoc compared to maybe something that is a little bit more information based, such as the MAV or the Tugs. But also, guys, I'm really impressed by his ability to kind of get behind them, especially with a rifle. A rifle is a little bit more difficult to get behind the opposition, considering that you only have one bullet per shot, unlike a magazine that upholds anywhere between 30 to 200 rounds. And I gotta say, especially for Operation Metro, sniping inside of the tunnels, that is definitely not something that is very common, especially on the console side, but I could not imagine that being something that is very consistent, even on a PC side of it. Throughout the clip, you guys probably saw that he did get quite a bit of good kills. He lined up a lot of good shots, and I gotta give props to the guy because I especially cannot snipe myself, so I definitely take a little bit more note to the guys that are a little bit more fluent and especially are a lot more aggressive when it comes to this department. But unfortunately, guys, the clip's going to be coming to an end here soon. He doesn't get a death, but I think the action probably slows down a sufficient amount. Coming in at our number 4 slot, guys, we are going to have Riso. He's going to be playing the support kit with the PKP Pesheneg. As you guys will take note, he will actually be using the C4, and as the first clip concludes, he will be destroying a lot of Amtraks. I'm actually really surprised by that, considering that the Amtrak can usually be kind of a pain, especially with most players, I imagine, on PC using it a little bit more tactful than the console side of it. However, you know, he does jump right in there, takes that stuff out of there, gets rid of that mobile spawn point, because that is actually a very difficult thing to destroy, especially if your team is not taking the initiative to actually destroy it. And I gotta give mad props to him for at least taking the ability to place some C4 on it, get rid of it, and at the same expense, you guys will actually take note that he is spawning people. He's actually getting up in the action. He's actually right up there. He's not just sitting back with a bipod having a good time, you know, maybe mowing down a couple of guys along the way. He's actually jumping on the objective, and I don't think he gets it the first time, but I think the second time he actually does capitalize on it, and his team is actually pretty close to him, so thus he does get the objective. He does get the 500 points for the disable, and more or less, I think he kind of saved his team from actually losing that MCOM especially. But as you guys will also take note, he's actually mowing guys down. Instead of, you know, him laying on the ground, as I've told you guys before with a bipod, he is actually saying screw that logic, and he actually defies the main ruling of that kit, and he kind of runs around and just mows people down. And I think a lot of people were really surprised by the fact that he's actually running around with it. I mean, especially for myself, I was expecting somebody maybe to be laying on the ground, maybe on, you know, Metro or whatever, having a good time, maybe getting a couple quad sprays along the way. But I'm actually gotta give mad props to the guy for at least being close to the objective and having the initiative and using a little bit of communication to keep his team up in the action and keeping his team alive in the last final round. Coming in at number 5, guys, we are going to have Slacker, and he's going to be on Davaman Peak on the 4th set of MCOMs on PC. And when it comes down to it, guys, he's going to run over some sad little guy sitting in a corner, and unfortunately he does get smashed into the wall and splattered all over the place. But as you guys will take note, he is going to take the Jeep, and from that standpoint he's going to position it on the AMCOM and surprise the other team, and I was actually really surprised by his ability to gun them down, especially with a lot of accuracy and the zoomed optics that are within the Jeep. But also have to take note of his ability to kill the same players over and over again, and when you think that they would use a little bit of communication, maybe a little bit of tactics to switch kits, especially on their next respawn. But unfortunately, he does sit there for quite some time. He does mow down a lot of the same guys, as I've said already, but he also does kill a lot of people, especially when the AMCOM does get armed. And more or less, you guys will see then take note of that he does get a triple feed, and that's pretty impressive, especially in a Jeep. The Jeep is one of those vehicles that's not super overpowered, but it's a lot, more risky to especially be inside of that. You guys will also take note of a sniper trying to shoot through the glass, but unfortunately, the glass is bulletproof, and you cannot destroy somebody, especially that easy. So if you guys think you can do better, check the link in the description, and that will have the ability for you guys to get more information. And other than that, guys, this is NMO, and I will be signing off. Peace.